Hey everyone, welcome back to our daily news recap. Today we're diving into a headline that's already been making rounds across the political spectrum. A federal judge in the Southern District of Florida has issued a scathing ruling on President Donald Trump's lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service. The judge's opinion, which is documented in case number 26-20609 CV Williams, calls Trump's legal action an improper exercise in self-dealing. That's a mouthful, but it basically means the judge found Trump was using the lawsuit to further his own personal or business interests rather than to address a legitimate grievance with the IRS. Let's unpack that. Trump, who has faced a flurry of tax scrutiny over the years, filed a lawsuit challenging how the IRS was attempting to audit his tax returns. The IRS, as we all know, periodically reviews returns to ensure compliance and enforce tax law. The lawsuit was filed in federal court with the expectation that the judge would rule on whether the IRS's requested audit was warranted. Instead, the judge looked beyond the procedural dispute and examined the underlying motives behind the suit. In a statement that left no room for ambiguity, the judge labeled the lawsuit as self-dealing. Self-dealing, in this context, refers to a situation where a person or organization is using a legal process to benefit themselves, often at the expense of the public or the institution's integrity. By calling Trump's lawsuit improper self-dealing, the judge implied that the lawsuit was more about maintaining Trump's public image, potentially protecting business interests, or preemptively reaching a favorable settlement, rather than a legitimate legal challenge. It's worth noting that no judge's ruling is ever the same as a final verdict opcode arising. In federal civil courts, a judge can issue a ruling that dismisses a case for lack of merit or for procedural flaws. In this case, the judge's ruling essentially says the lawsuit is not just unfounded, it actively harms the government's ability to enforce tax law. The implications of such a ruling are significant. For Trump's legal team, this could mean an additional layer of scrutiny for any future claims, especially those involving federal agencies. For the public, it underscores that lawsuits filed by high-profile individuals can be seen through a lens that scrutinizes motive as much as legality. There's a broader conversation here about the intersection of politics, and law. Whether you're a supporter or a critic of Trump, this ruling nudges us all to question whether public office holders always keep their legal affairs aligned with the public interest. We'll keep following how this case develops. Whether the case is dismissed for good or provisions are added for the next round of litigation, it shows that the judiciary maintains a check on potential abuses of power. Alright, that wraps up today's deep dive. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you found it helpful. Stay informed, stay critical, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.